Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Clermont, Florida. Hope you've all had a super fantastic, sparkling day. It has been an awesome day here. Lots done. I am absolutely exhausted, but can't go to bed early tonight. Nope, today is Tuesday, which means I have writers group at 9:30. They're on Pacific time, but that's okay. It's okay. We will survive. So how did your challenges go today? So speak to me. How were your challenges? How was your mindset with being open to new opportunities, open to new ideas, open to new suggestions, open to advice? How was your open mindset today? Is it a little more open than it used to be, or is it more closed off? And what about your projects for your business challenge? Getting your project board, see your project board, my project board, getting it up and running. How was that? Is it up and running? Are all your little post-it notes up there, or did you set it up on Trello? So how did that come along today? And the fun one was being a superhero today. What superhero will we be? Oh, hey, Zephy girl. Zephy. Hi. I don't know what's down on the seat there. Oh, she's put her salt. Look. She's burying her salt stick on the seat. Putting it there for safekeeping. Oh, you're going to sit on this side, are you? You're going to sit here and say hello? She loves to snuggle up when I come back. So how was your fun challenge today? What superhero were you, and what were your superpowers? How did you save the world? Would love to hear your comments on that. Private message me if you don't want to put it in the post. That's perfectly fine. Let's see. What did we do today? So Zephy's got a new obsession. She loves to dig. She kind of discovered it when we were in... Jeepers, where were we? Pensacola. We're in Pensacola. When we're at the dog park there, she would run up and down, and she was picking up the tree roots thinking they were branches and they wouldn't go anywhere. And so then she would like pull on them, and they were the surface roots that were only very small surface roots. And she would pull on them thinking they were branches, and of course they wouldn't come. So then she'd start digging around them, trying to dig them out, and then pull on it some more. Some of the finer ones she managed to break away, but the thicker ones she couldn't do that. And so it was just a new challenge for her. And then she kind of went away from the digging thing. But we've made a new friend here, Vicky, who's here in the campground with us, and a lovely, lovely lady. And she's always sitting outside her RV at her table in the morning in the shade, just enjoying the fresh air and everything when we go past. So we stop and chat with her, keeping our safety distance. And we have some great conversations and everything else. Well, the last 2 days, Zephy started digging on her site. No explanation, no nothing. And then she gets down and she starts chewing on the grass roots. We're not even sure why she started, but there's something about that particular spot where she decides she has to dig. And if you haven't yet seen the video, I did share it to my Facebook page earlier today. But if you're a member of Zephy's Great Adventures group, it's definitely posted next. We did the live in there this morning of it. We were just cracking up the whole time. And she made it big enough that she was able to lay down with her butt up on the ground level, but her whole top half of her body was in the hole, with her nose actually underneath the surface of the grass, she dug this little hollow out that her nose fitted into. It was absolutely cute and adorable. And after that video, we filled the hole back in, and she just sent it all back out again. But she was throwing that dirt like 6 to 7 feet behind her. It was hilarious watching her do that. So that's her new obsession. For some reason, when she's at Vicky's site, she now has to dig. And then we got back here after that was done. She had a big drink. Well, she had a big drink of water at Vicky's place. Then she had a big drink of water when she got back here. Walks away from the bowl and just collapses. Just lays down there in the middle of the floor, sitting up though, and just this big smile on her face. And so I took a picture of it and sent it to Vicky and said, "One happy dog." And as I'm sending it to Vicky, she just suddenly goes onto her side, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" And she just sort of like lifts her head a little bit, looks at me, and plonks back down again, because there was this big thud as she ran onto her side. And then she suddenly jumps up, runs back to her bowl, has a big drink of water, and then does the whole thing all over again, and does that like 4 or 5 times. And then all of a sudden she's up and she's just doing laps up and down the RV, and I'm just sort of like, okay, crazy dog. I did get to go out and about today because I had to go and go over to Tony and Brett's place and pick up the mail. And got there, and they had some of my mail, and I was like, hang on, there's a package that was supposed to be delivered yesterday, and it had been delivered while Brett was in the shower and was sitting by their front door, because they come in and out through their garage. And so I got all my packages. I'm a very happy girl, although I am a little concerned though, because I did get some mail returned to me that I had sent out to people. There was gifts I had sent out, there were cards I had sent out. So I'm going to be contacting some people to find out if I do have your address correct in my system. I may have the wrong address. You may have moved since I last sent you something. So if you get an email from me, get a message through Facebook from me or an email from me asking you to click on a link and to go fill in the information, please do so, because I've got a stack of gifts that were sent out, a stack of cards that were sent out that were all returned saying non-deliverable, which I'm sort of like, what? In fact, one of them was really interesting because I sent a husband and a wife, I sent out 2 cards. One went to the husband, one went to the wife. The husband's one got returned and the wife's one didn't. Yet they both went to the same address. Weird. So if you do receive a Facebook message from me with a link in it asking you to update, to go into there and fill out the form and update your information, please do so. Also too, if you put your birth date in there, then you'll get cards and gifts on your birthday too. Just like to make sure I keep people happy. So that was that, and then so I went out, got my mail. I had to go via the notary again because there was a screw up on the stuff we did last week, so got that all straightened out. Did my CVS run, I'm looking at the shelves of vitamins, and there was ones that I don't touch, some brands that I don't touch, and the brands that I do, I was looking and they didn't have any vitamin C, and then I found 2 little bottles tucked away behind some other bottles that were vitamin C. I was like, yes. So grabbed those. Sometimes when you're waiting for orders to arrive, you have to fill up with other brands. So I managed to get 2 bottles today. So I was very happy about that, since I have run out of vitamin C. So back on my vitamin C thing. So got that done. I'd thrown the laundry into the car before I left. And so when I got back to the campground, I went over to the closest laundry to us, which is probably about 3/4 of a mile from where we're parked. So I pulled out front there, went in, there was an older couple inside there, and they were just finishing up their laundry and explained how it was used with tokens and all that sort of stuff. So got my tokens, went out the car, got the laundry, put it in, took up 3 machines, then came back to the RV, bought all the stuff inside that I had in the car, and then went back over and basically stayed over there because I watched this really cool video on YouTube that's done by a couple who are full-time RVers with a family. And they can be in and out of the laundry in 90 minutes with a family of 5's laundry done, towels done, dried, everything folded and back in the vehicle in 90 minutes. And I'm like, how the hell do they do this? And they sort by fabric, not by color, because different fabrics dry at different rates. But if you put all the underwear into one load, they dry faster than anything else that you literally have with you. T-shirts dry at a different rate to what yoga pants do. Yoga pants dry at a different rate to what jeans do. They all dry at a different rate to what towels do. So it's kind of interesting that. So got in there and put my underwear through. It goes into the dryer. I only leave it in there for like 15 to 20 minutes. I usually check it after 15 minutes, maybe needs another 5, depending how much is in there. And then as soon as that's dry, it's out of there. And then I have another 2 loads going, and then I split those into that 3rd dryer that's now empty. And in an hour and a half, laundry's done. And I just fold as the dryer's finished. I just fold and get it all done. So everything is washed, dry, folded. I still have sheets and towels to go and wash, but I got all the clothing done, which was good because I was down to my last t-shirt. So laundry got done today. But one thing I did realize today, now I don't know if some of you may have heard about them, some of you may not have, but there's the 5 love languages that's written by, I think it's Greg Chapman, I think wrote the book, The 5 Love Languages. And I did this assessment years ago when Brad was around. Brad's strongest love language was physical touch. Mine was tied with physical touch and words of affirmation. And then a very close second was quality time. And then a very close, that would have been third. Then very close after that was acts of service, and then way down the back there was receiving gifts. And it wasn't until I got to Brett and Tony's place and Brett came out, and I have been very careful with them because they are both in essential roles, so I didn't want to keep popping over there all the time, just limiting the amount of time I go over there. But Brett came out and gave me a humongous bear hug. I cannot tell you, as somebody who has a love language of physical touch, how much that hug meant to me. And I said to him, I says, man, I have missed the physical contact. And it was just this beautiful big hug that he gave me. And just before I left, I got a second one. And it wasn't until I was driving away, I was like, oh my gosh, what about all these people who have, like with Brad, very strong love language of physical touch. It's what fills their love tanks up is their physical touch. And like, we're in quarantine, and those of us that are by ourselves, we have nobody that we can get our physical touch from because we're in quarantine. We're supposed to stay by ourselves, stay 6 feet away and all this sort of stuff. And I'm like, okay, it just hit me today that, there's a lot of people out there who are struggling with this enforced quarantine thing because their love language is physical touch and they are by themselves. And like me, I love hugs. I am always hugging people. Those of you who know me know I love to give hugs. I love to receive hugs. And I've been depleted on those. And it wasn't until I got the couple from Brett today that I kind of felt like I was starting to come back to life again. But I just didn't realize how much I was missing that physical touch till he gave me that big bear hug this afternoon when I first got to their place. So, think about people that you know and just check in with them every now and again. See how they're doing. I know you can't reach out and give people hugs because you've got to keep the 2 feet, the 6 feet or whatever it is away from people and all of that sort of stuff. But just know that there's people out there whose love language is physical touch, and their tanks, if they are by themselves, their tanks are running low, if not empty and in the negative. So they might need just a little boost of just some words, a phone call to say, hi, how are you? Virtual hugs is sort of like, yeah, I totally get the message behind the virtual hugs and all that, but it's not the same thing as the physical touch. So it's all about the physical touch. So there's a lot of people right now who are struggling with that. And so just be aware of that there may be some people. I've got to sit on my hands at times. Well, I can't really sit when I'm walking. Just clench my fists at times to stop reaching out to give people hugs. When I meet people, I'm always wanting to shake their hand, or in some cases I get the urge to give them a hug. And ever since I learned how to give a real hug with Brad's first round of cancer, I've sort of developed a sense of somebody needs a hug, this person needs a hug, and I will actually ask them, is it okay to give you a hug? I can't do that right now because we got to keep our 6 feet distance. And so it's really, really hard for somebody like me who loves to give hugs, especially, I guess you could call them therapy hugs. I don't know. But there are times that a hug can convey what words can't. So it's very hard to not be able to give those hugs. So just think of those people who have a love language of physical touch, and just find a way to connect with them without actually physically touching, because we've got to be in isolation and all of that sort of stuff. I totally get the reason why we're in isolation, why we have to quarantine ourselves and all of that. But there are people out there struggling. And then Vicky and I were talking today about people who are doing remodeling and stuff. People are taking this time right now to get stuff done around the house. They're remodeling RVs, they're remodeling their houses, they're doing all this sorting and organizing and everything else. And some people are complaining about the fact that they're having to go to the hardware store and buy this paint and this wood and all that sort of stuff. If they're by themselves, it is giving them something to do so they're not climbing the walls. So please be tolerant. This is a time where you have to be tolerant of people and what they're doing. Don't get upset because you see people driving around the road when they're supposed to be staying at home. Please just have some patience, just slow down and realize that some people need to go to a hardware store to get stuff to do, because if they're not busy, they're going to be climbing the walls. They're going to be driving anybody else that's within their vicinity crazy. It's also a coping mechanism for some people. The busier, if they keep themselves busy, they're not having to think about how lonely they are because they're in isolation right now. So please keep those people in mind. Be a little tolerant of people as well. Be a little patient. If you see people out and walking around, they're out there getting exercise and fresh air, which even in isolation they advise you to do. But if you see people who just seem to be always going out to do something and get something, and they're coming back with bags and bags, just realize that they're doing something that's helping keep the time occupied for them. Okay, you may be at home and have all your projects already there and everything else and sorted out. But if you're like me, you are very limited on storage space. I was actually thinking of taking up sewing again, and then I thought, what am I going to do? Where am I going to put the sewing machine? And I was like, how am I even going to get a sewing machine? I already have 2 in storage back in California. I don't need a 3rd sewing machine. And then I thought, maybe I could do some cross stitch. So I'm trying to find things to keep me busy that I can do in the evening, in summer evenings, because I love to crochet my my prayer shawls and my rugs and my Afghans and all that sort of stuff. But they are friggin' hot to do in the summertime, especially here in Florida. Even with the AC on, it gets too hot. It's just way too hot in the summertime to be crocheting. So I have to find other things to keep the hands occupied. So I'm busy doodling right now. I don't have any cross stitch with me, but I'm thinking of ordering some cross stitch online so I can do some cross stitches. I'm trying to find things to keep my hands busy, because if I don't keep busy, I go a little crazy. But, it's just, please be tolerant, especially for those of us that are by ourselves that love physical touch and can't get any right now. Let's see, what else is there? Oh yeah. So that is basically it from me. Oh, and my biggest one, I am in a competition right now to see who can gather the most birth dates, just month and day, with names and addresses, so we can send birthday cards and gifts out. So I'm in a competition to do that, which ends next Monday. So if you get a Facebook message from me telling you that, hey, I'm in this competition, would love to get you on my birthday list, and I really do mean I love to get you on my birthday list, because it's part of my part of how I operate. I need to send stuff out to people. I'm no longer a caregiver, but there's no reason why I can't be a caregiver to others by giving them inspiration, especially during this time where we're all sequestered and in solitude and quarantined, or whatever they want to call it, safe at home or safe in place or sheltered in place, or whatever the term is they're using these days. I have no clue. So I would love to be able to fill my time by sending out cards and gifts to people. So if you get that message that says, hey, I tried to send you something and their address was incorrect, click that link, fill it out for me, please, so I can make sure I can get that card or that gift to you. And then if I send you one saying how I'm wanting to add you to my birthday list, please click the link. Know that it is a genuine link, and it is coming from me, so I'm giving you the heads up right here, right now. And you would have seen me post on my Facebook page, last night? I think it was last night. Was it last night or this morning? Where I posted a picture about happy birthday, and I'm looking for, if you want me to send you birthday cards and gifts, please comment your month and below, and I'll send you a private message with so you can sign up. So know that is coming, and know that it is genuine and that it is real. It's not some scam or anything. I'm not going to sell you anything. I'm just wanting to give stuff away. So that's it from me. Have a super fantastic sparkling evening. I am off to finish my proofreading for my writers group tonight, which is going to be fun. We don't start that till 9:30 Eastern time, because we usually start at 6:30 Pacific time. That's right, isn't it? Yeah. God, my hair's getting long. I even got some hair ties today, so I can start wearing like pigtails up here to keep my bangs out of my face. Either that, or I'm going to have to get the scissors out. I don't have scissors. No, that would... Oh my gosh, I hope Tasman's not watching. Tasman, if you're watching, I promise not to take the scissors to my bangs. I have friends along the way on my journey whenever I get started with that again, who have been in the hair care industry and all of that, so I might ask them for a little trim. But Tasman's already got a 2-hour, I think it's a 2-hour appointment blocked for me, because even with my hair this long, it'll take her it takes over an hour to cut it, thin it, and get it so it's not on my face. But it's kind of interesting to see what it looks like come September if I don't do anything between now and then with it. So I did get some hair ties today to be able to tie it back from my forehead when I'm working, so long as I remember to take them up before I get on a Zoom call. Well, that would be funny, wouldn't it? You get on a Zoom call and my hair's up like this. Oh, wouldn't that be funny? Oh, jeepers. Anyway, I'm out of here. Have a super fantastic sparkling evening. We will catch you guys tomorrow morning with your challenges of the day. And we got some good ones for you. Talk to you soon. Hakonera.